Yo guys, what's going on? In today's video, I'm going to be going over the Interference VI. The Interference is a grenade launcher that was brought into the game in the past, and it's been refreshed into this new season. Interference is going to be with us for a bit, especially with the lifespan of legendary weapons, and I wanted to make a video on it because it is a pretty neat weapon. Why is it a pretty neat weapon? We can kind of go through all of the roles that this gun can get. So let's just go through that role. All right. This weapon has a lot of different selections, but the cool thing about this weapon is that not only is it allowed to have full court, it's also allowed to have demolitionist, even swashbuckler. But I feel like swashbuckler and threat detector are just there to be there. Full court or demolitionist is what you want, at least in the last final slot for the trait. This guy here gives you the option of field prep. He also gives you the option of auto loading. And on top of it, we now have the new season Clown Cartridge. Clown Cartridge was in the game last season, but I believe it was only on a few select weapons. This being on a grenade launcher is really wild. The reason why I say that is because there are times where instead of holding only 6, or if you have backup mag on, you're holding 7, you are going to be holding 10 in the mag. And as we know, these grenade launchers, when I mean these grenade launchers, I mean adaptive, have kind of taken over, right? Rapid fires are still great for burst DPS, but when it comes to adaptive frames, they are now punching really hard. The role that I normally would go for on most weapons like this, even last season, was I would go for an auto loading quick draw. Now, this is pretty neat here because you can kind of put this into another group of DPS. The interference that I have here has auto loading and full court. As we know, full court, depending on how far you're away from a target, it increases the detonation damage. Quick launch is not a bad barrel for it. Confine would be better for this. I do like this because I can shoot 7 shots, put the gun away, switch to a different weapon. If I'm using a fireline sniper or something like that, especially if you happen to get the moon sniper with fireline, you can do basically the same thing. Because I made a video for this before. You basically, you put out your shots here, you put the gun away, you switch to the other gun that has auto loading on it, you do your damage, and then you come back because it's only 3 seconds in between. And I believe I do have one in the vault. So we're actually gonna, I'm going to portray this real quick. Let me grab this sniper up. I'm looking for you, buddy. Where art thou? Might be on a different character. We're gonna move it over real quick. Here we are. And here's the neat thing about this, right? With auto loading, you never have to reload. So you could do something like this if you're worried about DPS. I believe the Garden Raid, the boss, of course, crit multipliers, you get to do more damage. So, you know, the Tranquility might be the better thing. But having auto loading and then having auto loading on your heavy kind of lets you do something which is pretty wild. You get to constantly keep DPS without having to worry. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to go over to Mr. Ogre. I call him Sumo. You know, he's like the simulated ogre. I just call him Sumo. All right, here we are. Now you notice that if I am this close to him, full court's not really gonna get the perk that's really needed. But if I come back here, I put my rift down, I shoot my shots, and I go to my sniper, it's probably dead, right? Shoot all my shots, I go back, and my grenade launcher is fully reloaded and ready to go again. And then I go back to my sniper, and that is one version that you would want on this grenade launcher. Now, I made a whole entire video breakdown of full court and why you don't want quick launch or hard launch on it, right? Because if you kind of get those things, it kind of like, it stops you from doing max damage. You want to go with confine or volatile. Volatile would be the better version of that. Now, going back into the roles for this gun, we can see that this thing also has possibility for clown cartridge and demolitionist. I got lucky enough to get a pair of that. All right, where are we? So now I have one with cloud cartridge and demolitionist. This also has hard launch and spike on it. I didn't get lucky with my masterwork. It could have been velocity, but here's the neat thing: this has two different ways to work in different scenarios. If I'm in a rift, that's gonna help me reload. If I have my grenade enhanced grenade launcher loader on, maybe I don't need it, right? But then I thought about this. If I'm doing DPS, I might reload the first time to get clown cartridge to proc. Then after that, if I have enough grenade energy and I toss that grenade, boom, I get to continue my damage. So I'm gonna go get ammo real quick, and we're gonna test this out. I think it's pretty neat to have something like this. All right, all right. So I am currently at 7. I don't need to be far away from him since I don't have full core on this one. I'm gonna proc this up. I'm gonna go ahead and do damage. He's gonna die. And as you can see, when I reloaded, I ended up at 8, right? Now let's do the same thing again. I shoot a few times, I toss my grenade, and I am reloaded. And boom, death. So you have 2 ways to reload your gun effortlessly, right? You have one way where you shoot and you reload, and you might get 10. As you can see there, I actually got 10 in the mag, right? What certain people do is if you see ammo on the ground before you get to your next encounter or whatever it is, you shoot a few times, then you reload to hoping for clown cartridge to pop, and then you pick up that ammo off the ground and you're full and you have enough for the next encounter. So now imagine, I mean, these guys, I mean, they're probably both gonna die here, but imagine having 10 shots, right? That means I can take out both of these guys, and I throw my grenade, my gun is reloaded, and I don't have to stop doing damage. This is one of the coolest things that Bungie could have given to grenade launchers. So this is pretty neat. Another cool combo that you can get on this gun would be to get clown cartridge and full court, right? So now I have a confined launch, spike grenade, clown cartridge, and full court. That requires me to, you know, shoot from further away because I want full court to do as much damage as it's good. But now, if I reload, I get to have 10 shots of full court. So imagine before a fight, shooting one, refreshing, making sure that you have 10 in the mag, and then you rally to the flag before you start that encounter. That means that when you're getting ready for DPS, this bad boy is good to go. You know what I mean? You get to get that much extra damage off of just full court. 10 full court shots off of an adaptive 120 grenade launcher. That is wicked wild. So when you guys are out there, this is a world drop. You can go to Raoul to get it as well. If you end up getting something like this, please don't delete it. Keep it. It is really good. All right. I had a lot of people come in my chat ask me, what do you think about this grenade launcher? I think it's amazing. I think we're given a lot of option for it. And since the whole lifespan of Legendary is changing, this is going to be good for a long time. You know, I do appreciate you guys coming in. I do appreciate the comments. You guys always leave me some great comments. I always do my best to respond. I always will leave feedback. You can give me feedback on my videos as well. But once again, thank you guys, man. I really do appreciate you guys coming in and checking out my work and seeing my insight on certain weapons. It is it's so freaking awesome, especially the whole the reaction to the unstoppable thing in the last video. I couldn't I was shocked. Like people loved it, like because people were having issues against Overload and Unstoppable Champions. So I'll see you guys on the next video. Thank you very much. Deuces.